Before banks, before numbers were carved into stone tablets, before kings declared taxes or merchants built fortunes, humanity lived by the simplest of exchanges, the trade of one need for another. There were no coins, no paper, not even a word for price. There was only survival and cooperation. Somewhere in that fragile cooperation, money was born. It began not as greed or power, but as communication, the attempt to make value visible, portable, and fair. Every civilization that followed would reinterpret that invention, shaping it into tools of progress and control. What we call money today is not a thing, but an idea, a story told and believed by billions. To understand it, we must travel back to the first moments when trust turned into trade and trade became empire.
Imagine standing in a prehistoric village, surrounded by huts made of clay and reeds. The air smells of smoke and grain. People exchange what they have for what they lack. Meat for pottery, hides for salt, grain for tools. It seems natural, yet every exchange hides tension. Barter works only when two wants align perfectly in time and need. A farmer with wheat must find someone who not only desires wheat, but also offers something the farmer desires in return. Economists later called this the double coincidence of wants. But to early humanity, it was simply frustration. What if the potter doesn't need grain this season? What if the fisherman wants wool, not tools? Trade halts, surplus rots, opportunity dies. Without a universal reference for value, every negotiation restarts from zero. Villages stay small because specialization cannot flourish without predictable exchange. The blacksmith can't focus on forging if he must haggle daily for food. The weaver can't expand if she can't store cloth's worth for the winter. Barter's limitations trap society in circles of dependence. Humanity begins to seek something abstract, a symbol that can bridge distance and time, a token accepted not because of what it is, but because of what it represents. Out of that search will come the first true economies.
Around 5,000 years ago, the fertile lands of Mesopotamia faced a new challenge. Cities like Uruk and Lagash had grown too large for memory to manage. Farmers owed grain to temples, merchants delivered goods on credit, priests recorded offerings to the gods. Words and promises were no longer enough. So scribes took soft river clay, pressed marks with a reed stylus, and baked those marks into permanence. These were not decorations, they were ledgers, proof that someone owed something to someone else. A typical tablet might read, 5 measures of barley owed by Enlil to the temple of Inanna. At first, the clay served only as receipt, but soon those receipts themselves began to circulate. If Enlil owed you grain and you owed another man oil, you could pass the tablet onward. Whoever held the tablet held the claim. Debt had become transferable. Promises had become instruments. Money, in its embryonic form, had appeared, not metallic, but conceptual. The clay tablet was humanity's first database of value, a system that allowed transactions to outlive the moment of exchange. Through this innovation, temples became proto-banks, storing deposits, issuing credit, and charging interest. Entire networks of obligation linked farmers, artisans, and rulers. Money had not yet jingled in anyone's hand, but it was already shaping civilization. As centuries passed, different cultures searched for physical embodiments of value. In the islands of the Pacific, cowrie shells glimmered like polished pearls, their rarity giving them worth. In the dry heart of Africa, salt was treasure. Without it, life itself withered. In China, smooth shells and later bronze olitations served as currency long before coins. Across the Mediterranean, bits of copper and bronze passed hand to hand. Everywhere, the pattern repeated. The chosen object had to be scarce enough to resist imitation, durable enough to last, divisible enough to make change, and recognizable enough to prevent deceit. Salt met many of these needs, but could dissolve. Shells were portable but fragile. Metals, once mastered, met them all. Slowly, the concept of intrinsic value shifted into symbolic value. A lump of copper or a bead of glass might have little use by itself, but if everyone believed it could buy food tomorrow, it became precious. Money's magic lies here. Its worth rests not in substance, but in collective imagination. Communities discovered that belief could be minted as surely as metal. Around the 7th century BC, in a small Anatolian kingdom called Lydia, an innovation occurred that would reshape the world. Traders along the Aegean coast were tired of weighing and testing every nugget of gold or silver. King Alyattes offered a solution: standardized pieces of electrum stamped with a royal emblem, a roaring lion. Each carried an unspoken guarantee: this much metal, this much purity, this much authority. The first coin had arrived. Its simplicity hid genius. A coin condensed the complexity of trade into a single, repeatable unit. It allowed strangers to exchange without prior trust because the state itself vouched for the value. Coins spread quickly. Greek city-states minted their own. Athens chose the owl, Corinth the Pegasus, Aegina the turtle. They became not only currency, but identity, tiny ambassadors of each polis. Soldiers repaid in them, temples stored them, poets wrote of their gleam. Trade accelerated as never before. For the first time, money had a face, and through that face, rulers could speak directly to every hand that held it. The sound of coins striking one another was the rhythm of a new age. Around the 7th century BC, in a small Anatolian kingdom called Lydia, an innovation occurred that would reshape the world. Traders along the Aegean coast were tired of weighing and testing every nugget of gold or silver. King Alyattes offered a solution: Standardized pieces of electrum stamped with a royal emblem, a roaring lion. Each carried an unspoken guarantee: this much metal, this much purity, this much authority. The first coin had arrived. Its simplicity hid genius. A coin condensed the complexity of trade into a single, repeatable unit. It allowed strangers to exchange without prior trust because the state itself vouched for the value. Coins spread quickly. Greek city-states minted their own. Athens chose the owl, Corinth the Pegasus, Aegina the turtle. They became not only currency, but identity, tiny ambassadors of each polis. Soldiers repaid in them, temples stored them, poets wrote of their gleam. Trade accelerated as never before. For the first time, money had a face, and through that face, rulers could speak directly to every hand that held it. The sound of coins striking one another was the rhythm of a new age. Nowhere was money more political than in Rome. The Republic and later the Empire mastered currency as propaganda. Silver denarii bore the profiles of consuls, gods, and later emperors. Each coin broadcast power: Caesar's calm gaze, Augustus's divine lineage, Trajan's victories. To touch a coin was to touch the state. Rome's vast armies demanded endless payment, so the mint became a weapon as vital as the sword. When treasuries ran low, emperors debased the currency, mixing cheaper copper into silver, minting more with less. At first, few noticed. Soon, merchants demanded more coins for the same goods. Prices soared, trust faltered. Inflation was born not from greed of merchants, but from desperation of rulers. As metal content fell, faith evaporated. People hoarded old coins, traded privately in goods, fled the official economy. The empire's arteries of commerce clogged. Yet the lesson outlasted Rome. Debase trust, and even the strongest state will crumble. Money's power is not in its shine, but in its credibility. After Rome's collapse, Europe fragmented. Roads decayed, trade shrank, and coinage all but disappeared. Yet money's ghost persisted. Villages recorded debts on wooden tally sticks, each notch paired with another half kept by the creditor. Monks maintained ledgers of obligation for rents and tithes. Farther east, Byzantium preserved gold solidi, while in the Islamic world, silver dirhams and gold dinars flowed along stable trade routes. The story of money never paused. It simply changed narrators. Even when barter returned, it was temporary, a bridge until formal systems re-emerged. The concept of value accounting had sunk too deep to vanish. Humanity had learned to think in terms of credit and settlement, of obligation and fulfillment. Money had become mental infrastructure. Why does any of this work? Why do people accept a stamped disc or printed note for their labor and life? Because money is a story told together. It functions only when belief outweighs doubt. Each era creates mechanisms to sustain that belief. Temples, monarchs, banks, now algorithms. The material changes, the psychology endures. Money serves three roles: medium of exchange, unit of account, store of value. But beneath all lies one essence: trust. When that trust falters, as in Rome's debasement or modern crises, panic spreads faster than fire. Understanding money, then, is understanding human faith in systems larger than ourselves. It is organized hope, measured and traded. From the clay tablets of Sumer to the digital ledgers of today, every version of money is a mirror of its time. It reflects technology, belief, and hierarchy. When societies centralize power, currency bears faces of rulers. When they decentralize, it migrates into code and contract. Yet the thread remains unbroken. Money records what we value and exposes what we fear. It builds cathedrals and starts wars, feeds families and fuels greed. Each coin, note, or byte carries whispers of all who traded before us. To hold money is to hold history compressed into a symbol. Every empire leaves its imprint on that symbol, and when the empire falls, the symbol adapts and survives. Money is immortal precisely because it is imaginary. So the next time you pay for bread, transfer a token, or glance at a balance glowing on a screen, remember the farmer and the potter, the scribe with his clay, the king stamping a lion, the banker signing a letter. Their inventions flow through your fingertips. Money is not the enemy, nor the goal. It is the language of cooperation, written in faith, spoken by trade, and revised by every generation. To understand it is to glimpse the machinery that built civilization itself. And in that understanding, perhaps to rediscover that the real wealth of humanity has never been metal or paper or digits. It has always been trust.